So when it comes to sparring, I truly believe that there is one way of sparring that can help increase your skills when it comes to Muay Thai kickboxing, regardless of what level you're at. I'd feel confident saying that I think a majority of you believe that you train this way already, but from what I see as I go to other gyms and I watch other gyms online, I feel we may have lost our way when it comes to this type of sparring. And the type of sparring I'm talking about is light technical sparring. I call it light sparring. A friend of mine, Crew Daniel, calls it technical sparring. They're pretty much the same thing. I feel like we need more of it. This subject came up when I had the privilege of training with John Wayne Parr. And I remember on Joe Rogan's podcast, Joe Rogan brought up the fact that John Wayne Parr was talking to him about it, the importance of light sparring. And when we had Wayne here at our school and he was teaching and we were talking about light sparring, and then I saw an Instagram post from him a little while later talking about how as he travels, everyone wants to go so hard. He's like, what happened to light sparring? And he actually had a caption that said, bring light sparring back. When I trained in Thailand, we sparred in every class. It was a bit scary at first because we didn't wear shin guards, but that's because of their extreme control of their weapons and their balance and their Muay Thai overall. And that came from them, of course, doing light sparring every class, every day. I attended 3 classes a day, and at the end of every class, we did sparring. Sometimes you were working on specific things during the sparring, sometimes it was clinch sparring, but we didn't have all our gear on because it was fully controlled. It was light, it was technical. Mainly, it was play. That is how you really hone your timing and your flow. I believe in that. I believe that as you move around and you're going light, you can play with combinations more freely. You can flow, you can move a certain way. You can again, primarily really get your timing on your strikes. Mostly I believe that people find their feet. I think when you first start, if you start and you're just kind of going heavy, man, it's really hard to figure out how to move fluid when you're tensed up and you have to like block tensed super hard, or you're getting hit hard and you feel like you have to respond hard and it just turns into slugging. Now, can you get better at sparring by sparring that way? Absolutely. There are benefits to hard sparring, primarily body conditioning and just mental conditioning. Like going through something like that on a regular basis, it does numb you so you don't freak out when you get hit. You become okay with the contact. You don't fear it, so then you can kind of mount an offense or some counters or even develop a really good defense. But all those things can also be done in light sparring if you respect the strikes. Sometimes when things evolve into a hard sparring session is because when you're going light, someone is not respecting the contact and they're kind of walking through your strikes, acting as though at a faster speed those wouldn't hurt. So they're kind of walking through your light contact. I pretend as though anything that touched my face would have knocked me out. It has really helped hone my defense. So if we're going light and you're pitter-patting and you're touching my face, your gloves are hitting me, it doesn't have to be hard. I'm not gonna feel invincible and be an idiot and try to walk through that. I'm gonna respect it and understand that I am getting hit. And if we were going a little harder, you would have dropped me. If we understand the etiquette and the flow of light technical sparring, it is, again, the most beneficial way. This is why. Fighting or fight training, martial arts, it's all theoretical. The training itself, it's all theoretical. Now, fitness is definitive. Fitness is inevitable. If you're doing martial arts, you are going to get in shape. Your fitness is going to elevate. But the techniques themselves, they have to be validated. And that can only be done through application. You have to apply the techniques in these situations to know they work, or to find which techniques work for you versus what works for someone else, your flow. So I'm just saying, I hope that you're training at a place that truly does foster that type of culture, that type of environment where you do light technical sparring. And then if you need hard rounds can be found. Look, when my team needs hard rounds, we get our hard rounds. I'm comfortable saying right now that if you are just a hobbyist and you train because you love it, but you have no desire to compete, I don't know why you wouldn't really ever have to get hard rounds. I think that you should. I think it would benefit you to kind of feel that pace, to feel that energy at some point, but you don't have to do that. I think you can get what you need out of Muay Thai just staying with technical light sparring. Now, if you look to compete, if you want to be a fighter, if you want to do tournaments, you need those hard rounds. There's no way around that. And if you have a good coach, I'm sure they're working that into your training somehow, some way. But even in fight camps with my fighters, we do not just do hard rounds nonstop. That's an old school mentality. That will cause injuries, that will cause brain damage, that will cause more problems. You will get more injuries in your training than you would in the fight if you train that way. So yeah, you need hard rounds, but it's not always hard rounds. It's not I don't know what it is about some people who just want to go hard all the time. It's not a smart way of training. And my motto is train smart, work hard. And if you really watch some of the people at the highest level, you see them do quite a bit of play sparring or light technical sparring, again, to get their movement, their timing, test out new combinations and strikes. It's the smartest way to train. And honestly, it's the funnest way to train. My favorite rounds are the play rounds, are the light rounds. And our team as a whole truly enjoys those sessions as well. So I hope that makes sense, guys. And I hope, again, that you are training somewhere and in some way that ensures that you're getting light technical sparring and more than you're getting the hard sparring. If you are doing a lot of hard sparring, I think you should consider doing much more light sparring. And again, it always comes down to where you train in the culture and how they conduct their training sessions or classes. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to show your support and be sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.